Nobody showed up for my Halloween party this year. Everyone said they were free to hang out and watch scary movies with me, but the second I put on Teenagers from Outer Space, oh, suddenly everyone's busy.
They're probably just scared. Look at this hyper-realistic lobster, you cowards.
I love this season and all the monster movies that come with it. I'm not a huge fan of modern slashers or jump scare stuff. I get kind of bored watching those. I'm more of a fan of the real classics.
Classic. Most of these are really silly, but they're just so much fun to watch. I grew up on a lot of these, so I've got a big soft spot for old, cheesy black and white films. But there are some legitimately great ones, some real all-time classics, and the realest, all-timiest classic for me is 1922's Nosferatu. Nosferatu is iconic, everyone knows that name. Despite this, I've met very few people who've actually seen the film.
And I'll be the first to admit that this is kinda weird, right? I'm usually obsessing over late 90s, early 2000s media. It feels sort of off-brand for me to be gushing about this century-old movie. But don't worry, because our story actually begins in the year 2002 with a cartoon called Spongebob Squarepants.
Alright, so in this particular episode, Graveyard Shift, SpongeBob and Squidward are working overnight at the Krusty Krab, with very spooky things happening throughout the night. This is a really good episode, probably one of the best, and the episode ends with this.
If that was you on the phone and you on the bus, then who was flickering the lights? Nosferatu!
There was originally going to be a different ending to that episode, but they decided to scrap that in favor of adding Count Orlok from Nosferatu. I don't know how they came to that conclusion, but it's a brilliant joke, and more importantly, for kids my age, that was the first time we'd ever heard of Nosferatu. There's gonna be one guy out there who's like, actually, I knew about this movie when I was 3 years old, it was my favorite film. Shut up, you learned about it from SpongeBob like the rest of us.
This is a hugely important film, and we know it as the funny SpongeBob scene. At the time, I didn't even know this was a movie. I thought this was just some dude. And then I think my parents walked in while I was watching it, and they were just like, what? Nosferatu? Which brings us to Blockbuster. I always loved going to the store and picking out a movie to rent, but they started doing this thing where you could rent DVDs online, and they'd send them to you in the mail, which was just the most incredible thing. Netflix was doing something similar at the time, but we were a Blockbuster Online family. Yeah, we lost that war. When you were done with the movie that they mailed to you, you could return it to the store and just pick out a new movie from the store. It was such a great system, and I miss it so much. Pressing my face against a Redbox machine just isn't the same. I swear this isn't a commercial for a service that's been dead for over a decade. The point is, we rented Nosferatu from Blockbuster Online because I wanted to see what the deal was with this funny dude from SpongeBob. There are worse reasons to watch a movie. Air Bud on DVD came with a free dog tag, that's just too good a deal.
Now, typically, I'm not really into old silent films, but Nosferatu is the exception. I think even a century after its release, it's still worth watching.
So, what is Nosferatu about anyway? Well, you ever heard of Dracula? You know, the guy from Hotel Transylvania? The king on the loose, nothing you could do. Nosferatu is a German adaptation of the 1897 novel Dracula, but it's unofficial, so they had to change the names of the characters. No, this is not Count Dracula. This is my own original character, Count Orlok. Yeah, it was a good try, but this didn't work. There was a lawsuit and the judge said that every copy of this film needed to be destroyed, which is sad. Plagiarism or not, having something that people worked hard to create and wipe its existence off the face of the earth kinda sucks. According to the Library of Congress, approximately 75% of these old silent films are completely lost. So how did Nosferatu survive? I guess somehow a print escaped to America, a land where Dracula was already in the public domain. That allowed that one print to be copied and redistributed. This is actually the oldest vampire movie that hasn't been lost to time. And it's actually really good. I'm not usually a silent film fan, but for horror, I think it really works. It contributes to that unsettling vibe, with the only sound being the score. I got to see this in a theater once with the music being played live, and that was just incredible. It's quite creepy too. Count Orlok has such a cool look, and the performance really feels like some ancient weirdo monster dude. It's so unnatural, even down to the way he walks. Why are you moving like that? Ugh. Like, this guy's just a weirdo freak, and it makes this movie so entertaining. Is this your wife? What a lovely throat. What is wrong with you? You cannot say that. That is like my #1 red flag. If you say that to me, we are not friends. This is actually pretty close to how I sleep, though. The only difference is that Orlok is probably much better rested than I am. That shot of him going up the stairs, where you only see his shadow, it's so iconic, and for good reason. I don't want to show too much, because this movie actually rules, and I highly recommend watching the full thing for yourself. Sadly, Blockbuster Online is not a thing anymore, but you can watch the movie on YouTube. There's also a cool 100th anniversary edition, which I just learned existed about 10 seconds before recording this audio. I actually have it on DVD in the Horror Classics 50 Movies collection. I remember it was October like 2014, 2015. I bought this and Rayman 2 Revolution for the PS2 from the same store. Oh, what a great store that was. I don't know why buying Rayman 2 from there is like a core Halloween memory. Rayman 2 kinda rocks though, not gonna lie. This is actually a good Halloween game though. This game's horrifying. I'm getting way off track, sorry. 50 classics for only 20 bucks? What a steal. All right, what do we have in here? The Killer Shrews? All right, yeah, that's awesome. Attack of the Giant Leeches, gotta have that one. Gotta have Giant Leeches. Night of the Living Dead? Okay, that one's unironically just an actual great movie, though. The Giant Gila Monster, yeah, now we're talking. That's what I'm here for. All of the little sleeves for the discs have that iconic stare shot from Nosferatu. This collection is awesome.
I just think it's funny that the only reason I know about this all-time classic film is because of Spongebob Squarepants. Like, that's kind of incredible how this show just introduced a whole generation to Nosferatu.
I guess they brought Count Orlok back in later seasons. Like, he's just a character who shows up sometimes now. It kinda misses the point of the original joke, but it's cute, whatever. That original scene is still one of the funniest moments in the show. Also caused a whole new generation to call Count Orlok Nosferatu, which is not his canon name, but whatever.
Well, since my Halloween party was a bust, I'm gonna resort to my usual Halloween plans. Get ready, it's about to get really crazy in here.
Alright, so we're back here in RuneScape. Today we're gonna be working on our wood cutting stat. We're gonna be grinding that up a couple levels. We're also gonna work on our fire making. Yeah, we got a lot to get done today here in RuneScape. Let's start making some fires. After this tree's done, got the tree. Oh, there we go. That's a level up if I've ever seen one. That's crazy.